Welcome to this new add-on spotlight. In this add-on spotlight we're gonna look at the Working Title G1000 NXi version 060. It was released, I would say, yesterday, I think, and it's now available also in a marketplace, so you can now install it via the marketplace. Right, that's the only way that this I would say cockpit is being distributed. So what has been done? So first of all, there's some new features focusing specifically on the map. We can now add the MFD traffic map with user config settings. So the traffic, if you would have look here, you will have an airway on or off, and you've got terrain options here. And there are certain options also in the map. Let me show it again. In the map HSI, where you can now switch on the traffic option. I'm not sure how accurate it is, to be honest. I looked into it, and you can either do it like this, which is the HSI map, or you can do it like this. In that case, it will be displayed on the left side. It adds the map declutter indicator. I'm not sure what it is, and also didn't encounter anything, right? Then there are tons of changes to the FMS. There are multiple ways where you, for example, can select transitions for approaches. There are visual approaches for all the runways at all the airports are now being added. The creation of holds for origin, destination runways and visual fixes. There's the creation of direct to existing to runways or visual approach fixes. There was some cleanup of hold depictions in the flight plan page. Deletion of any lags after destination, right? So in some cases what you saw was that you planned a flight, and after that there were some lags after the destination, so after the runway or airport, which was your destination. They're now being fixed, so you can now even delete them. There improved display of approaches in select approach and flight plan. In flight plan, sorry, that's this button, and the approaches will be, you can find them in the under the proc option. And there's an improved handling of adding procedures when a direct destination is currently active, right? So when you're flying in directly to, for example, an airport, and you want to set an approach, you can do it nicely. Then the PFD, it adds the OBS feature for GPS waypoints and the improved page nearest option, which you will find here. It now shows a message, or it previously showed a message, or didn't show any. No, it didn't show any message. That was the case. So if you don't have any airplane within 200 miles, it was simply empty or did display all those airports. They now made a change that they simply say, okay, hey, there's no airport available within 200 miles. Then to the MFD, there's now a page to select the infrastructure and the OBS depiction to the map. That's nice. And there are tons of issues resolved related to VOR, VNAV, GPS localizers, GPS bearings, PFD insets. I'm not going to go to all of them, but this looks really like a release where they, I would say, added a minimum amount of features, but they fixed a lot of the issues. There are still some known issues, especially with the large comm knob, where you can only reduce the frequency no matter which direction. The flight plan, loading from the world map screen is sometimes loaded incompletely. And the world map imports from Navigraph and SimBrief do not include airways, which means that the airways will not be added to the G1000 NXi flight plan. I hope that they will fix that, but looking at the quality they normally deliver, that should be fixed soon. The external camera view HUD does not sync properly with the NXi and may show strange or incorrect data. I'm not sure if I would say encountered that one. The good news is that according to Working Title, that will be fixed as part of not World Update, Sim Update number 6. the hardware autopilot peripherals may display the select altitude as 99,000 feet. So you can configure that. It looks like that they are all working on it. Again, sim update number 6 will fix it. And there was an issue where the flight plan inverted, and that has been currently disabled. It will be re-added to the G1000 NXi in a future release. Then there are some warnings, right, about changing the CDI, which you can do using this. For example, localizer 1, localizer 2, and GPS. There are some warnings about it. If you do that, that you need to be aware that you change it correctly, and that you will need to be on the intercept course and within the capture distance of the desired flight plan before those modes will become active. Which means that, for example, if you're flying using a certain option and you want to change the mode, it might not directly start to working because you're not close enough. There are some other things which you need to be aware of. One of them is the changing the CDI, which is this option. It changes the autopilot to roll mode. That's correct behavior according to them. It's intended to keep the airplane held in the same altitude until the pilot reselects the appropriate guidance. So all in all, a lot of things which they changed or have updated. So let's have a look at the flight plan things, right? So let's see if we can program a hold, because that's something new, and that's also something I'm really curious about how they did that. So we're gonna, come on. No, I don't want to go to that option, guys. It's the crappy thing of changing the interface each time, or changing, not the interface, the machine you're playing on. That's the correct wording, right? So I changed it to from my Xbox back to the PC. Come on. Let's go to Echo. Hotel. Alpha Mike. I said Mike. This is it. So we're gonna go to Schiphol Airport. That's cool. But now let's see where we can find the holds, right? Here's the declutter current details. So that's what they mean with the declutter options. You can see also that you can change some of the map settings, although I don't think something is new here. So that's all kind of cool. The declutter settings, if we look at them, they are all related to this, right? You can also change it here. This is what they call it declutter. Simply how much detail will be added to the map. But that was not what we were looking for, right? We were looking for the at least for the method to program the flight. And in some cases this is really frustrating, because I want to show you how to do that, and for some reason it doesn't allow me to do it. So in that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a trick. There's a trick in the control features, and while saying it, now I need to figure out where I found it last time, and that's to use the, I would say, old method of controlling or of using the controls. And the reason you sometimes want to do that is because the controls as currently are available is, I would say, optimized also, of course, for playing on the Xbox. But in some cases, like you just saw, it's really nasty and you want to revert back to the previous method. I'm looking at the options because I'm pretty sure that I found it somewhere. No, I'm not gonna go to the default settings. Where did I find it last time? I'm pretty sure it was in the general options. This is the graphics, the camera. Can't imagine it's there, to be honest. Where is it? Then I think it might be in the accessibility options. Cockpit interaction is in lock mode. Yeah, this is the setting. You need to change it to legacy. Again, this is a trick, right? Because now it works, I would say, as prior to the update, which allows you to use it on your Xbox. So keep in mind that when you're switching between an Xbox and I would say a PC, then you need to adjust the settings each time if you really want to, I would say, use the old controls on the PC, which is a little bit nasty. Those settings are synchronized, right? So they're belonging to your profile. So keep that in mind. Come on. QR. D. So this will be our departure. We're gonna select the runway 06. Fine for me. Then we're gonna move down the options, go to the destination, use the small knob again. What are we doing difficult, right? Doesn't work. Right, you also have the option to enter them using the keyboard normally, but I do think that you then need to enable the I would say not the legacy mode of controls, but the the modern way of using the controls. No, we want to fly to Amsterdam. I'm a little bit too far already. So we're almost there. One step further. Yeah. So we are not going to specify, I would say, a runway for Amsterdam, right? We're going to simply fly to it. So now I'm wondering where they did hide the hold options. You can see that the departure options are set here, right? So we can select departure, arrival, etc. And then we can specify the departure route. Let's do this one. And then hit load. That's the SID, right? The standard instrumental departure. But I can't find the hold method, right? Which is a kind of weird, because I would have expected it to be either in the procedures, right? You can see that there are multiple options here, but there's no option to configure a hold. So that's kind of weird. Maybe it's something that you need to configure that manually. If you know it, then let me know by posting a message in the comment box, right? Explain how you did it, because I'm really wondering how you can configure the holds, which should be available now according to the release notes. So looking further, there are not many changes, right? Because the G1000 NXi focuses only on these two displays. Well, only, it's a lot, right? Because this is simply the heart of the airplane, right? So a lot of changes again. Really cool. I'm really looking forward to new versions of it. because they are enhancing their version each time they release a new update, which is really cool. Hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below the video. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos, then consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.